Hello, today I am teaching to you class 8 science chapter 2nd microorganisms. Friend and foe. Friend means those organisms which are useful for us, and foe means those organisms which are harmful for us. Regarding this chapter, today I will teach you the last topic of this chapter, and the topic is the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen, it is an element which is represented by the symbol N, capital N. In chemistry is the branch of science. And a nitrogen element cannot exist as a single element or single atom. That's why it is represented by N2. Nitrogen is an element and it is represented by the symbol capital N, and the nitrogen cannot exist as a single element. That's why we write 2 just bottom to this number. It is the denoted by this way. For example, oxygen always exists in nature as a O2 form. This is the symbol for oxygen. Oxygen symbol is only O, but the single atom of this oxygen cannot exist separately in nature. So always when we write this oxygen with their symbol, we always represent as its existence form. The oxygen always exists in the form of O2. O2 means here 2 oxygen atom combines to each other and it exists as O2 form. That's why this is called oxygen molecule. Here we talk about the nitrogen element. What is its importance for the plants and for the animals? All of you know that we need protein, vitamins, and nucleic acid for the growth and development. These nutrients are also required for the growth of plants also, because protein molecules contain nitrogen elements in their complex molecule form. Nucleic acid also contains nitrogen in their complex form molecule, and this nucleic acid found in the DNA structure of a plant or an animal. So nitrogen is an very essential element for the plant as well as for the animal. Plant as well as for the animals. Both plants and animals required nitrogen for the growth and development. So in this topic, what we see that how nitrogen, which is present in the atmosphere about 78%, but this atmospheric nitrogen cannot be used by the plants and animals directly. All of you know that the percentage of nitrogen in our atmosphere is very large, but this atmospheric nitrogen is not useful for the plants and animals directly. So here the atmospheric nitrogen goes through some process during which the nitrogen is utilized by the plants and animals easily, and they begin their growth and development. So now let us see what are the process involved in the circulation of this nitrogen. This circulation of nitrogen from the atmosphere to the animal and plants, and again from the animals and plants it goes into the atmosphere. This is called nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen cycle, we can define that the circulation of nitrogen element through living things. Through living things means plants and animals, and non-living things. Non-living things means air and water, soil, air, water and soil is called nitrogen cycle in nature. Let us now describe what is nitrogen cycle. First of all, 78% nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, this is called atmospheric nitrogen gas, and it is free in the atmosphere. But by the some action of nitrogen fixing bacteria, like rhizobium, which is present in the leguminous root nodules of the leguminous plant. Like what are the leguminous plants? Like pea plant, beans plant, these are the leguminous plant, and in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, rhizobium bacteria is present, and this bacteria helps to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrogen containing compound. So one is atmospheric nitrogen is fixed in the form of nitrogen containing compound compounds, and it is present in the soil. So the free nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere is converted into the nitrogen containing compounds with the help of nitrogen fixing bacteria, blue-green algae, and lightning. Some another process are also used, like artificial methods, but these are not explained in this class. We study about this artificial method which are used for fixing the free nitrogen into the nitrogen compound in the higher classes. Now, the free nitrogen converts into the nitrogen containing compounds like nitrate, the nitrogen compound is nitrate, this will not shown here. This compound is mostly from nitrate compound, so there is no need to write here, only I write for your understanding. The free nitrogen is converted into nitrogen containing compounds and it will goes into the soil, and this will happen only by the action of nitrogen fixing bacteria or blue green algae or lightning process. And after the nitrogen containing compound goes into the soil, this nitrogen is absorbed by the plants with the help of their roots. And how the animals use this nitrogen, which is now present in the soil? The animals use this nitrogen by eating the plant as a food. As food. And both plants and animals, after certain period of time, they may be decay, and they also may be death, because it is a natural process. And after decay, these are the waste material, and they contain nitrogenous waste. After death and decay of these plants and animals, they goes again into the soil, and they are decomposed by the action of some bacteria and fungi. These are called decomposers. Some bacteria and fungi helps to decay the dead and plants and animals. That's why these bacteria and fungi are called decomposers. When again the plants and animal goes into the soil, and they are again converted into the free nitrogen and goes into the atmosphere by the action of some bacteria, and these bacteria are called denitrifying bacteria. Here bacteria also act for the denitrification of the nitrogen containing compound. And in this way, the complete cycle is followed. That's why it is called nitrogen cycle. Cycle means one thing we get from here, and after certain period of time again we reach here again. That's why it is called a cycle. So what we say here, first of all we take the atmospheric nitrogen gas and it will convert it into the nitrogen compound, and again the nitrogen compound is utilized by the plants and animals, and again this nitrogen compound is converted into the free nitrogen with the help of some bacteria, and but here is denitrifying bacteria are responsible for the conversion of free nitrogen from the nitrogen compounds. Here nitrogen fixing bacteria are used. So we can also say that these are the nitrifying bacteria, like rhizobium bacteria is a nitrifying bacteria, and here denitrifying bacteria are used for the conversion of free nitrogen from the nitrogen compound. So we can say that these three processes are responsible for the conversion of free nitrogen into the nitrogen compound. That's why we can also call that this process is nitrification. From here to here, nitrification process is done, and nitrogen compound we obtain by the action of this nitrogen fixing bacteria, blue-green algae, and lightning process. And from this nitrogen containing compound we get again free nitrogen. So this process is called denitrification. Denitrification process. So here we can say that during the whole process of nitrogen cycle, two process is happened. One is nitrification and another one is denitrification. Both process, nitrification and denitrification, is play a vital role in the circulation of the nitrogen, and in this way the circulation of nitrogen between living things and non-living things, that's why it is called nitrogen cycle.